Good morning, students. Today we are going to do the poem, The Ball Poem, written by John Berryman. John Berryman was an American poet and scholar, and he was born in 1914 and died in 1972. He was a major figure in American poetry in the second half of the 20th century and is considered a key figure in the confessional school of poetry. Confessional school of poetry is such kind of poetry where means we confess about our actions, about our wrong actions. So many of his poems were based on such kind of theme. So his best known work is the Dream Songs. So in this poem, the ball poem, a boy loses a ball and is very upset. Neither the ball costs much nor it is difficult to buy another ball. Why then the boy is so upset? So first of all, before starting this poem, I just want to tell you that the poem doesn't have a fixed rhyme scheme. So this kind of poem is known as a free verse or a blank verse. So let's start the poem. What is the boy now who has lost his ball? What is he to do? I saw it go merrily bouncing down the street and then merrily over there it is in the water. So what is the boy now? The poet is talking about the boy who has lost his ball, and he wants to know about his reaction. He further asks himself what this boy will do after losing his ball. So the poet has seen the ball going away from the boy. He saw the ball was cheerfully jumping, merrily bouncing. Merrily means cheerfully, bouncing means jumping up and down the street, and then merrily, happily it enters into the nearby river. So here the poet is telling about the loss of ball. So the students, you can see that the word what is repeated here in these two consecutive lines. So when initially few words are repeated in consecutive lines, they are known as anaphora. This is the poetic devices here, anaphora. And you can see that boy now boy who lost o sound, vowel sound is repeated. So this is here assonance. And merrily, who can be happy? Human beings can be happy, but here the poet is saying that the ball is happy. So the human quality, qualities are given to the ball. So this is example of personification. And when you can all imagine this picture merrily bouncing, you can create this image in front of your eyes. So this is known as imagery. And word what and merrily is repeated again and again in these two lines. So it is example of repetition as well. No use to say, oh, there are balls. An ultimate shaking grief fixes the boy as he stands rigid, trembling, staring down all his young days into the harbor where his ball went. I would not intrude on him. A dime another ball is worthless. Now he senses first responsibility. Grief fixes. Grief means sorrow, sadness. Fixes means has come to the boy's face. And out of fear, he's trembling. His hands are shaking, and the ball has now entered the harbor. Harbor is a dock or a port near the water body. So the poet says that there is no benefit of consoling the boy by saying that he will get another ball. The boy is profoundly affected by the loss of his ball because it has been with him for a long time, and this loss is unbearable for him. And he is grief stricken because all the sweet memories of the childhood days went down the harbor with the ball. The attachment that was with the ball is now has gone with the ball. So the poet says that he doesn't want to intervene, to interrupt the boy's thought, as through this experience only the boy will learn the meaning of loss on his own and how to cope up, how to handle this loss. So the poet wants him to realize that the time has come to learn the responsibility of taking care of his things. And the poet doesn't want to give him any money. 10 cents is a dime, means 10 cents, very less money, but he doesn't want to offer this money to the boy to buy another ball because that would be worthless. Because with money, one can buy new things but cannot buy the attachment. So the word ball is repeated here in the stanza again and again. So this is repetition. And stand staring in third line. This is an example of alliteration. In a world of possessions, people will take balls. Balls will be lost always, little boy, and no one buys a ball back. Money is external. So possession, in the world of possessions, means owning things. So you have a lot of things in your possession. So you are the owner of a lot of things. Like you can have your iPod, you can have your own phone. So these are things of your possessions. So so poet says that money is external, that can buy things to you, but not the feelings to you. So the poet says that he has to learn to live without them no matter what. He says no one can buy back such things to him. The poet said so because according to him, money can't buy you everything. If it does buy you some materialistic things, it will not be able to buy the sense of belongingness. So here the poet, this is the 13th line of the poem. Balls will be lost, the little boy, means the poet is here talking to the little boy, but he's not responding. So such kind of poetic device, when the speaker is talking to the absent audience, is known as apostrophe. So this is an example of apostrophe. Let's do the next one. He's learning well behind his desperate eyes, the epistemology of loss, how to stand up, knowing what every man must one day know, and most know many days how to stand up. So desperate eyes, who are desperate means very sad, hopeless eyes. But who is hopeless here? The child is hopeless. But the poet has given this title to the eyes. So when the feelings are transferred from the living being to the no living, boy is a living being and eyes are not living beings, they are not, they don't have any sense. So but here the poet has given the human quality to the eyes. So feelings are, emotions are transferred from the boy to the eyes. So this kind of poetic device is known as transferred epithet. So epistemology of laws, this is understanding the nature of laws. So the Greek word epistemology, episteme means knowledge. So the study of the nature of knowledge. So he says that the boy is learning how to stand up against the sense of lost thing. This means that the boy is trying to learn the real truth of life, which states that you have to accept the miseries of life and stand up again. The poet suggests that from the loss of the ball, the boy is learning how to stand up in a world of possessions. The boy is learning what it means to lose something. So the poet says that knowing that every man has to stand up after such losses, some stands it understands it early, and many take time to understand this. The boy too will learn how to stand up and leave the losses behind. So this is a human nature. Some get out of that, overcome that fear or overcome that loss very quickly, but some are there who stay in that loss for a long time, and some goes into the world of depression as well. So the poet says that everyone should learn how to cope up with the loss of life. So as I told you in the beginning only, this poem doesn't have a fixed rhyme scheme. So this kind of poem is known as free verse or a blank verse. So the central idea of this poem, so there are three main themes, or you can say that three central ideas of this poem. The first is that those whom you love and your worldly possession will not be with you forever. Secondly, how to stand up against the miseries and sorrows of life. And third, the poet stresses upon one more thing, that money is external. We cannot buy memories with money, though we can buy new things. Thank you, students. I hope you all have understood this poem very well. Thank you.